Hello everyone. A quick question before we start. How many times have you said, I am fine, when your brain had clearly opened 72 Chrome tabs? One is saying anxiety, 3 are overthinking, and somehow one random tab is replaying something embarrassing from 2017. Because at this point, saying I am fine deserves an Oscar and possibly its own Netflix documentary. And here's the strange part. Sometimes we don't even realize we are struggling. We just say things like, I'm probably just tired, or maybe I'm just being lazy. Or my personal favorite, I'll feel better after sleeping. And then somehow 3 weeks pass. But what if before you even figured out something felt off, your phone already knew? Yeah, helpful, terrifying, slightly illegal feeling? Welcome back to AI Meets Medicine. This is episode 3 and I am Kuhu Chandna, someone who is genuinely fascinated by how AI is reshaping the world, especially in medicine. So today we will be talking about mental health, the thing we all care about, but somehow only remember at 2 a.m. while staring at the ceiling, overthinking life and pretending I am fine, even though our brain is clearly asking for a software update. But don't worry, this isn't going to be one of those serious depressing lectures where everybody suddenly feels emotionally attacked. So let's explore a strange but fascinating idea. What if the first thing to notice you are not okay is not a person? What if sadness leaves clues and AI is quietly learning how to spot them? Let's be real for a second. We are the generation of I am okay while mentally buffering like weak Wi-Fi. We are constantly connected, always online, always available, yet somehow emotionally unavailable, even to ourselves. And what's funny is we track literally everything. Steps tracked, calories tracked, screen time painfully tracked, sleep, heart rate, water intake tracked. But what about emotions? Pure chaos, no tracking, just confusion and occasional overthinking. And mental health doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes anxiety is not panic and depression is not crying. Sometimes it quietly looks like replying late to everyone, losing excitement in things you once loved doing, feeling tired for no obvious reason, doom scrolling until 2:47 a.m. while convincing yourself one more reel. And the scary part, a lot of people don't even realize something is wrong with them until things get really heavy. Now here's something. Researchers have found that AI can detect signs of depression and emotional distress through speech patterns. And no, not what you say, but how you say it. Your voice, the tiny details most humans never notice. Longer pauses, lower energy, changes in pitch, speaking slower. It's almost like your brain leaves behind tiny emotional fingerprints. Think about that. You call your friend and say, yeah, I am okay. But your voice quietly goes, no, absolutely not. And that's real. Some healthcare researchers are exploring AI systems that analyze speech signals to identify mental health risks earlier. Neither to replace the doctors, nor to diagnose your life, but to notice patterns humans might miss. But here's something we don't talk about enough. The person sending memes, cracking jokes, making everyone laugh, that funniest person in the room sometimes is struggling the most with his emotions and somehow quietly exhausted. Because mental health struggles don't always announce themselves. Sometimes they whisper. And life is loud. So people miss the signs. Friends miss the signs. Families miss the signs. Sometimes even we miss the signs. Now imagine this. You suddenly stop sleeping properly. You are moving less. Your daily routine changes. Your screen time shoots up. Your heart rate patterns become weird. Random information? To humans, maybe. But to AI, these are the patterns. Researchers are exploring whether data from wearables, things like smartwatches and health trackers, can help identify early signs of burnout, anxiety, or depression. So basically, one day your smartwatch might gently say, "You haven't slept properly in 4 days. Your stress levels are weird. Are we okay?" At this point, my smartwatch sounds more emotionally available than my alarm clock. But here's a real question. Who do you talk to when life suddenly feels heavy at 2 a.m.? Because mental overload rarely sends a calendar invite. And this is where AI gets interesting. There are AI mental health support systems designed to help people who feel anxious, lonely, overwhelmed, or emotionally stuck. Not therapy replacements. Instead, these are the support systems. Because sometimes you don't need answers. You just need somewhere to place your thoughts. And before anyone says, talking to AI sounds weird, let me respectfully remind you. Half of us have already Googled, why am I overthinking things that happened long ago at 1:45 in the morning? So really, we have already been emotionally oversharing with technology. But now comes the uncomfortable part. If AI can understand emotions, should it? Genuinely think about that. If an app knows you are emotionally vulnerable, what happens to that information? Because mental health isn't shopping behavior. It's deeply human. And the future of AI in healthcare only works if there's trust, privacy, and ethics. Otherwise, things get creepy very fast. But I want to leave you with this thought. Maybe the goal of AI in mental health isn't replacing care or replacing human connection. Maybe it's helping people get noticed earlier, before burnout becomes breakdown, before stress becomes silence, before someone quietly reaches a point where they say, "I wish someone noticed sooner." And maybe sometimes the strongest thing you can do is stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and start asking, "Have I been okay lately?" So if life has felt strange recently, like heavy, confusing, or just emotionally weird for no obvious reason, check in with yourself. Not your productivity, not your grades, not your deadlines, but you. Because mental health is healthcare. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is admit that you are not completely okay. If this episode made you think or mildly panic about how much your phone might secretly know, share this episode with someone who says, "I'm fine," a little too often. And until next time, take care of your mind. Because even the strongest people need updates. I'll be back with another interesting conversation in the next episode. Until then, stay tuned.